The mayor comes up to me and he puts his arm around me and he's like, listen, kid, he goes, you got to buy your building. I said, okay. I said, why? What's going on? He goes, well, we got to, FedEx is coming in. The whole area is under redevelopment. In a year or so, your property will be worth double. Luckily for us, my partner is partner with another gentleman who's a broker in Branson. So he had been looking for us in that area and he came to us with this deal. Had you asked me in January when I joined if I was going to be in development, I would have said not in a million years. And here we are.
How did you gain the confidence to not only do a deal out of your state, but also a new development?
So welcome back to Multifamily Rockstars. So as you guys know, this is where we do deep dives in our guests' deals, and we try to give you actionable advice for your first deal. So you actually take action and do something with this stuff. And so today I've got Joe Sargo on the show, and Joe's from New York City, and been Warrior less than a year, and just excited to get into this deal that he took down. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Awesome. So why don't you take a minute? I know you don't come from the real estate business. You're actually kind of cool. You come from film and TV. That's kind of cool. But talk a little bit about that and your background and why real estate and all that, and kind of bring us current and in your own words.
Okay. Well, I started, my core business is I supply automobiles for movies and TV shows. I've been doing that for 25 years. I took it over from my father, the opportunity. And, we've grown that over the last 25 years. Real estate for me was something that I saw in some of these other guys that my father had as friends. And I saw what these guys were doing and how they were building wealth and they had other, big projects. So for me, at an early age, I've been involved in real estate for quite some time. It always intrigued me, so it kind of felt natural. And I've, been doing it for 20 years now.
Right. Now, that picture behind you, is that the first deal we're going to talk about?
It is. It is
Okay.
it is probably our biggest deal. Not
Tell, tell,
probably, it
well, tell,
definitely
tell
is.
us what it is. It looks like industrial flex or something. What is it?
It is. It is a
Okay.
20,000 square foot industrial flex building. It will be 10 units that will
Nice.
have 2643 square footage of leasable space because we'll have weight rated loft space that the tenants can use. And it is located in a sub-city of Branson, Missouri, in Hollister, Missouri.
Oh,
And by the
wow.
way,
So
for the
not in your backyard in Missouri. Now, Branson, isn't
No.
that like an entertainment area?
Branson is like a summer, seasonal place. So
Don't they have
they're
like the Dolly World? Or maybe I'm thinking of somewhere else. I'm thinking of
no,
somewhere else.
that's Tennessee.
Tennessee. But
Yeah.
Branson's known for something. I know that I've heard that name before. What's it known for?
They have Branson has Bass Pro. It's the
Oh,
largest Bass Pro. They have a museum there. And the
okay.
gentleman that owns Bass Pro is big into development in that area. And I think they have the number one theme park in the area, which
That's what I was thinking. I
yeah,
thought there was like a theme park or something there.
yeah.
I love Bass Pro Shops. I mean, that's like crack cocaine for me, man. I love going in there. I just love it. But
Yeah.
so talk about this deal. Why Branson? Why industrial flex space? How'd you find it? Just talk to us about that deal.
I'm gonna give you a little backstory for it with it. Just
Great.
that's how I ended up there, right? So I'm an avid mountain biker. I travel to the Bentonville, that Northwest Arkansas area. I saw the development in the area enough that my wife and I had bought land, to build a house and move there. So
Cool.
when I was looking for commercial space originally, I was looking in that area. Luckily for us, my partner is partner with another gentleman who's a broker in Branson. So he
Hmm.
had been looking for us in that area. And we were, like I said, we were originally looking for multifamily, and he came to us with this deal. Had you asked me in January when I joined if I was going to be in development, I would have said not in a million years. And
Hmm.
here we are.
Here we are. You want to make God laugh, you tell him your plans, right?
Right.
So how did you gain the confidence to do this? Because I know you're in New York, and obviously this is in a totally different state, and it's new development. How did you gain the confidence to not only do a deal out of your state, but also a new development project?
Actually,
Like,
as part of that question, had you done any industrial flex space before either one of you and your partner?
No, I own my warehouse where my
Right,
business is in, and that's
right.
a whole really cool story how I bought that actually.
Okay.
But really, we had the right who in place, right? So, again, it's kind of outside of my comfort zone.
Oh,
Everything
that's
I've
that
built and
book, right?
developed.
That's the
Yeah,
book, Who Not
who
How.
not how.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love it. Okay.
yeah, for sure.
Okay. So
Um,
who was the who?
it's the team down there. It's the
Okay.
realtor, the broker, the builder. Our builders out of California, kind of like us, East Coast kind of feel.
Okay.
Um, and they just made us feel right at home,
Love it.
solving the problems without me having to worry about them, right? Like I'm usually like my hands are dirty and everything.
So you got the comfort in answer to Mark's question. You got the comfort by the fact that you had a kick-ass team helping you put this thing together. Would that be the right answer?
For sure. For sure.
Okay. Okay. Well, now I'm intrigued, and I'm intrigued. I hate to shift gears, but I want to shift gears. Tell me about the warehouse you bought. Why is that a cool story? The
So
one, the one,
the
the one you're
one that my
operating
business
out
has
of.
been. So I'm not, like big on going to all these town meetings and stuff. And my wife was like, look, we got to go up to this town meeting. Let's go up there. Okay. Me, my wife and my father go to the town meeting. My dad knows everybody, been in the area 50 years.
Right, right. One of those guys. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after the meeting, the mayor comes up to me and he puts his arm around me and he's like, listen, kid, he goes, you got to buy your building. I said, okay. I said, why? What's going on? He goes, well, we got to, FedEx is coming in. The whole area is under redevelopment. In a year or so, your property will be worth double. I said, okay. The next morning, I called my landlord and I said, I want to buy the building. We had about a 15-minute conversation. I'll shorten it up, but it was
Right.
pretty much, okay, what do you want to pay? I
Right.
made him an offer. He countered. I said, okay, I'll give you your offer, but you hold the mortgage. He said, okay, I'll hold the mortgage. He gave me a number back. You come up with this number. I said, okay. I didn't have that number. He said,
Right.
okay. And we bought the building. I'm in that building right now. And had I not bought the building after COVID and all the things that have happened, and the cost of these buildings around here, I would be out of business essentially.
Yeah. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And that just speaks to the fact that your dad had built those relationships. So the mayor comes up and says, I'm going to help this kid out and tell him what to do because they know
Yeah.
what's going on. I mean,
100%. Yeah.
right. I mean,
Yeah.
look at Pelosi. What does she make? 100 grand a year. Now she's worth 40 million, 50 million, whatever.
I like that.
It's who
I
you
like that
know.
multiple.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. But anyway, so back to this Branson, Missouri thing.
Yeah.
The broker brought you the land, and how did you connect with the other pieces of this, the other players, this team? How did that all come together?
Through the broker. Through the
Oh, through the
broker.
broker, he knew him.
Yeah,
Okay,
the broker
awesome.
knew the builder, introduced us to
Okay,
the builder. And honestly, Rod, I was out there a couple weeks ago at the property, and pictures don't even do it justice for
really,
location where it is.
really
Yeah, it's
nice.
up on a hill. It's on 65 as you come into the
Is it
city.
completed now?
It should be completed by the first of the month, is what I'm being
Oh,
told, of December.
okay. Okay.
So
oh,
Wow.
you're almost
yeah.
there.
It's coming.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah.
how are you gonna, I mean, let's drill down on industrial flex space a little bit. We had someone else on not that long ago. Guys,
No.
by the way, those of you listening, I mean, the Warrior program, yeah, they own, my Warriors own probably close to 300,000 units. We can't even keep track anymore. We know it's over 277,000, but every other asset class is represented. Lots of industrial flex space, lots of senior housing, lots of self-storage, student housing, and hotel conversions, you name it. But anyway, let's drill down on industrial flex a little bit. So you put it together, you built it. Now you got to lease it. So talk about,
Yeah.
are there some market dynamics there that make it exciting? Number one, and then talk about how you're going to go about filling it up. What are your marketing methodologies and or relationships or whatever that you're going to utilize?
Okay. So that's probably the scariest part of the whole thing, right?
Okay.
You
Yeah.
know,
You got
because
to lease it.
now I got it. Now I got to make it happen, right?
Right.
So again, the team down there has done a really good job with the marketing. We've been marketing. We've been going really strong right now, Facebook ads and stuff like that. We
Okay.
have my realtor and the builder have pretty good local presence.
Okay.
Also, the location of the building has gotten a lot of eyes on it.
Okay.
So there's been a lot of interest in that respect. We believe that we probably have 3 leases already. And
Wow.
what we're thankful for is that we believe that at least one, maybe 2 of them are in manufacturing, which would be a tremendous help with the new big beautiful bill, and it gives us some tax incentives there for
Oh,
manufacturing.
oh,
Yeah,
cool. Oh,
yeah,
very cool. So,
yeah.
are you targeting, you're targeting small businesses, I take it.
We are. We're
Yeah.
targeting probably businesses that have a retail presence and maybe a small storefront that needs a little
Hmm.
bit of warehouse
Oh,
space.
even retail.
It's
Oh, not retail there, retail somewhere else and they need storage.
No, you could be retail there. There's office in
Oh,
there, and you
oh,
could,
wow.
just because it has the bay door, you can still set up a storefront, and
Okay.
we can actually replace the bay door with a storefront if the
Oh,
tenant needs
that's
it.
cool. It's got
Yeah.
enough visibility for that to be viable.
Oh, yeah, definitely,
Oh, wow. That's
definitely.
unusual. Well, that's not true. A lot of times you'll see industrial flex space right off a highway too. You
Yeah,
see it off to the side, but okay.
It-
And so 3 out of the 10 you think may already be leased.
yeah. We
Okay.
definitely have one, which is our builder. He's actually going in
Okay.
there.
Oh, cool.
Um, yeah. So
Okay.
it's been also really good for him as well because of the location and the people seeing it. He's gotten tremendous amount of additional work.
Now, what about the financing on this? Because I'm doing a new construction project myself right now, 14 units. And I know the key to that project was financing. We got interest
Yeah.
only for the entire term of the loan, so we don't have to put a
Okay.
bunch of money down. What about you? Tell us about the financing on this deal, how you secured the financing, if there was funds you had to raise. Give us some details on that.
Okay. So we went into this a little strong, my partner and I. We went, yeah, we did, because we didn't want to have a problem with financing. So, but we did go with a local bank. And what does that mean? We put up a pretty significant amount of money. We purchased the land prior. We did ourselves. We didn't, and then
Which includes which contributes to the equity for sure.
yeah, and we also pretty much did the first draw for the build. And we went with a local bank. We actually did really well with the
Mm.
local bank, and I think we're at 6.89 interest rate, which was pretty good
Mm-hmm.
for March of last year ish or something like that. Um,
Okay.
yeah, so it isn't
30,
a
30 year,
construction.
30-year AM, 30-year AM, 5-year balloon. That's very typical.
It's
Is that what you got?
Well, we haven't secured it into a full
Or
mortgage yet. It's
permanent,
just
yeah.
it's
Oh,
a
just a
construction loan up
construction.
until
Gotcha.
yeah.
So, what was the term and information on that? Was there any IO or was it just a regular term?
Um, it was just as far as I don't have the term sheet yet.
Yeah,
Like
on
I
the
don't even.
construction financing, and you're not going to typically see IO.
Well, that's
So
why I
so
asked because I have IO for the entire term on our construction loan on a local bank. That's the only
do
reason
you
why I
really?
asked that
Oh,
question.
interesting.
Yeah, for 2 years
Interesting.
for the entire term period.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't
Well,
believe
I
that's the
stand
case.
corrected.
Okay, so you guys are just making regular as you pull the draw. Then you're just making the regular payments as you're doing that. And what's the
That's correct.
timeline on that from when you got that loan to when? I mean, December 1st. What's the timeline on that entire project?
So the timeline on the entire project was we started our build in roughly May, June, and we funded that part of it, the beginning of it, and we didn't really go to the bank until about September.
That's
So we didn't
fast.
draw. Yeah, it's
Wow,
very
that's really
fast. And
fast.
I'll tell you why. Very little regulation going on in
Really?
town.
That's what I was
Like,
going to ask you about. How'd you get
yeah,
it so quickly without all the red tape of new construction and all that?
who you know.
It's Branson, Missouri,
It's
man.
that simple.
It's
It
who you
really is.
know.
It's my builder and my realtor have been in the area. My realtor pretty much wrote the book on single family like Airbnb rentals for that area because nobody was
Nice.
doing it. Um, so
It's
these guys
called
are
the
kind
Good
of
Old
tied
Boy
in.
Network.
Yeah, they're tied
But now
in.
I'm getting
Because
curious. Was this part of what made it a good deal? You knew ahead of time that you could just move super quickly, or was that a nice
yeah,
bonus?
it was a nice bonus, but they had told us prior to, and I had actually spoken to the city, and they were in love with the project. They loved the idea. They loved where it was going to be location wise. So
Hmm.
they were all for it. They approved, you know. What I was
You-
shocked at is, you know, coming from where I'm at, right? I'm in New Jersey. You can't even step on a piece of property
oh,
without
please.
like, you know,
Oh,
certain
please.
it's
Yeah.
yeah, you
And that
know,
election,
like
that election
it's,
didn't go the way we wanted, but that's another story. But anyway,
yeah.
so I'm looking at the framed out building here behind you, and it's kind of cool because you can kind of see, you've got the plumbing stub outs in the front
Yeah.
where the bathroom's got to be, and then the rest, of course, in the back's going to be all warehouse. So it's kind of cool
Yep.
to see this stage, and recognize what it means. But did the fact that steel construction's probably a lot faster than people might think as well, right?
For sure. And
Yeah.
again, our builder has a relationship with the manufacturer. So his orders go in pretty quick. And we had a basic design for this building for a while before we, you know, for a while. So it
Mm,
was it
okay.
was it was the steel was on the ground in September. I think the steel was on the ground mid-September,
Wow.
you
Wow.
know.
So
Yeah.
why'd you come and work with us then? Because you correct me if I'm wrong, but you seem like a ready, fire, aim type of guy in the way that you're doing things. And so many people struggle with fear, and that's like the hardest part. Obviously, that's not you. Why'd you come and work with us?
Why did I come and work with you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, become a warrior. Yeah.
Oh, why did I become a warrior? Oh,
Hmm.
I mean, it was easy for me. Like probably the first thing that it was the way that you talked about mindset. You know, your relationship and the way that you worked with Tony Robbins. That
Oh,
to
thank
me
you.
is where people really fall short,
Mm.
and beat themselves up. And I thought that part was fantastic for me. And then
Mm.
it was about being in the room and having access to people that were really doing what I wanted to do. And
Mm.
that was the second biggest reason. So,
Did
and
you
then it
join
was a
at a boot
no-brainer.
camp, or did you just join out of
You
the?
know, I watched a boot camp. I did go to one of the virtual boot camps.
Okay.
I think I
Okay.
only got to watch one day because I was on a mountain biking trip. So I
Okay.
ended up only getting to watch one day. And then I think
Okay.
Mark and I talked on that following Monday, and I think I joined on Tuesday
That
or
was it.
something.
That
Yeah.
was it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Love it.
Yeah.
And um, yeah, I assume you didn't make the Phoenix Warrior event. I don't think I saw you there.
No, I couldn't
Yeah.
make that event. My niece got married on Sunday. Had that
Uh,
event been on the East Coast, I would have
you've
absolutely
been all
flown
over
out
it.
for a day and come back, but it was to
The
fly
next one,
West
the next
Coast.
one will be
Yeah.
in Sarasota. The next one will be in Sarasota.
Yeah,
It'll be a
yeah.
little
That's
easier.
easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned, Joe, beforehand that you had tried to actually do this on your own a little bit to give the listeners some context. Tell
Yeah.
that story real quick about what kind of motivated you to get some help.
Yeah. So I was, you know, again, my experience with single family, multifamily, smaller projects and, you know, that kind of stuff, my building, and I've owned some condos in Florida. That stuff is easy. It was easy. I could do that, you know, no problem. So I was like, fine, I'll go and I'll start looking for real, you know, multifamily, right? So the first building I found, I started working on, did all the underwriting, which I didn't honestly, I didn't even know what that meant for years and years. I had been doing it, and I'm like, I don't even know what it means, you know? So we did, yeah, right. So I'm doing this on this building, and I'm going through it, and the building seems like a fantastic deal, you know, and go to the bank, and the bank asks me like and comes back with like it's a rural area, and I'm like, I don't even know what that means. You know, they won't lend on it. So I had to backtrack a little bit and say, okay, let me learn a little bit more, because there seems to be some things that I don't know in this process. um and before I go and spend 2.5 3 million dollars, maybe I should learn something.
You know, I can't tell you how often I have somebody hit me up. And I mean, it happens probably on at least a monthly, if not on sometimes a weekly basis. Hey, I've got this 100-unit deal under contract. You know, can you help me? I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You, you didn't want to spend a couple bucks to get some help, and now you're asking for help after you pulled the trigger. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, no, I mean, but anyway, by the way, guys, if you have any interest in applying to our Warrior Coaching Program, it's extraordinary. Text the word crush to 72345. I was just being interviewed on another podcast and I made this comment. I really believe our results in the Warrior program eclipse all the rest of the people combined, and we're a fraction of the cost. And if you're interested, text the word crush to 72345. We'd love to help you crush it in this business. So what's next for you, brother? I mean, obviously you got to get this thing filled up. Are you going to do another one? What are you thinking?
We are when we were down there 2 weeks ago in October, we looked at quite a few other pieces of property to do this in. So we're probably going to move forward with at least one of them. We just would love to get at least, these three tenants in the building and then,
Right.
move on to the next. But I think for the next project, we're looking in a little different city, somewhere a little closer to one of these bigger sub cities.
Hmm.
And we're going to probably do more of a build to suit and sell the units.
Oh, okay. And that
Yeah.
can be
Very
very
different.
lucrative as well. So
Yeah.
you actually, people, I will tell you, a lot of small business owners like you want to actually own what they have. And
That's
you
right.
have a small fee for the taxes and the
Yep.
outside maintenance, things like that, but it's insignificant and you own your own. I mean, I've seen that happen many times where you actually sell them off. That's
Yeah.
a great idea, brother. I
Yeah.
love it.
So
Um,
that area is popular with that what they call the microflex,
mhm.
that 1 to 4,000 square foot property, where like my market here where I am down the street from me, they're building 102, two of them, 120,000 square foot buildings,
Wow.
much
Wow.
different,
Wow. Are
60
you
foot high.
are you thinking about any other asset classes or focus is power? Are you staying focused? What are your thoughts on that?
We're staying focused on
Yeah.
the flex space. And if I'm, going to be honest, which I always will be,
Hmm.
I'm a little intrigued by where everybody's going with this senior care, and there's a huge market for where we're doing all this flex as well. It's a shortfall. Um, so
Buddy,
yeah, that's on a
that's really big right now. And I bought my first assisted living facility 2 months ago. Very
yeah,
excited about that. Very excited. And we've had, lots of warriors are doing it already. Lots of them already own facilities. And there's a lot to it. So yeah, I encourage you to consider that because
w-
I mean there's a huge shortage of housing. I mean beds for seniors and it costs upwards of 250 to 300,000 a bed to build them, and you can still buy them for sub 100 a bed. So
right,
there's an opportunity. I don't know how long it'll last, but COVID destroyed a lot of facilities. So yeah, that's good. I'm
right,
glad you're considering that. Uh,
yeah. So,
yeah, yeah, cool.
I was going to say,
but I
with your
came into
background and your job, you should consider big syndication. You could go, raise some money from Denzel Washington or something.
Yeah.
I spent many years. So I'm also a local 52 prop. I've spent many years on sets with movie stars. Um, Honestly, I just did my job. Like I was
Yeah.
never, I've been around it since I'm a kid. I've been sitting on the curb of movies since I'm,
No
9 years
kidding.
old.
Oh,
Yeah,
how cool is
yeah,
that? That's,
yeah.
a lot
So
of
so
people
for me,
dream
it's a
about
job.
that. That's
Yeah,
that. Yeah, I got you. Okay.
yeah.
Well, I mean, have you ever thought about raising money for deals or you just like doing it yourself?
We have talked about raising money for deals. I would probably lean on somebody that's better at it than me. Than
Well, and we've got, dozens and
Yeah.
dozens
There's
and
tons of
dozens of
people in
teams
this
in the
group.
Warrior program for that.
There really
Yeah.
is.
So, yeah.
I was amazed at early in my journey how many warriors like quickly were already into deals together,
Right.
doing stuff and big things. It
Yeah.
was pretty impressive, the action,
Yeah.
that was taken.
Yeah, it's mindset. I mean, they actually
Yeah,
take action because we spend a lot of time, on what's most important, and that's actually doing it instead of, getting caught up in our
yeah.
stories and why we shouldn't do it and fears and limiting beliefs and all these things that hold people back. So, yeah,
Well, now with all of the resources, right, and all of the things that you can get, analysis paralysis is even greater, right? Because now
right.
you have so much more. Before, you had to really, really search out some of this data, right?
Yeah,
And now it's literally, at a type of a chat bot, right?
yeah,
You can
yeah,
find
yeah,
out pretty much anything and, and do it in a fraction of the time. And that becomes overwhelming. And some people can act on it and others, delay.
yeah. No, we're in crazy times right now.
Yeah.
We'll see
So
what. Mhm.
speaking of action, Joe, leave the listeners with one more golden nugget. What are, from your perspective, what are some actionable items, whether they work with us or not, that doesn't matter. Even if they don't, what are some actionable items that you kind of do on a weekly, monthly basis that you think listeners can just start doing, whether it's calling brokers, deal analysis, whatever? What are some of those things that you would recommend they do in terms of taking action?
I mean, just doing it, right? Like just start looking for those properties, right? Find some properties that you like. Get your deal box together. What do you want, right? Um, Sometimes you may go into it thinking you want one thing, like me, and end up in a journey building something that was totally not on your radar. So, really just starting, right? Picking up the pen, getting on the computer, start looking for that project and calling those brokers. We were fortunate because we have an awesome broker. So I leaned on him, and that I didn't necessarily make as many calls, but I spent hours and hours and hours on a computer researching properties and deals and
Nice,
It's
nice.
great advice.
Yeah, no,
So
it is.
for people that want to reach you, Joe, maybe they like your story, they want to get into industrial flex, new construction, maybe people that live in New Jersey, whatever, that want to invest out of state, which for people that live in New York with the whole freeze the rent thing, I wouldn't blame you for wanting to invest out of state at this point. How
yeah.
can they reach you and where can they reach you?
You can email me at legacypartnerholdings@gmail, and
Perfect,
that's
perfect,
probably the easiest way to do it. Yeah.
perfect, perfect. Well, listen, brother, I appreciate you coming on for a few minutes. It's great to see you, and I'm sure we'll see you in Sarasota for the next Warrior event. And
Yes, sir.
appreciate you adding some value, and interested to see what you're up to here in the next year or so. I'm sure it'll be amazing. So
You got it.
keep it
I
going.
appreciate you. I appreciate you for having me here. I'm very thankful for the program and to the other warriors for being available. At the
Yeah,
drop of a hat, I can call some of these guys, and I've done the same for others. So it's
nice,
been nice. Thank you.
nice. Thanks, brother. See you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.